Hi, my name is Bente, I'm the Norris Witch, and another new moon is coming up. This time it will be an Aries new moon, so let us have a look at how we can use that in our magical practice, shall we? This new moon in Aries will be in Central European Time on Monday, April 8th at 8:20 p.m, in Eastern Time on Monday, April 8th at 2:20 p.m, and in Pacific Time on Monday, April 8th at 11:20 a.m. Before we look at how we can use this new moon in Aries for our magical practice, as always, let us first look at what the zodiac sign Aries is all about. So first of all, Aries is a cardinal fire sign ruled by Mars. So it's all of the nice, juicy, passionate stuff. Cardinal signs, we've talked about them a lot by now, are initiators. Those are the ones who start new projects. They are leader types, but they don't necessarily like looking at the details of a project. They don't necessarily like to stick around for too long. Since they are initiators and leaders, they usually have quite a lot of new ideas for new projects. So they initiate, but it would be better for someone else to finish the project. And with Aries being a fire sign, that is even stronger because fire, if you know fire comes very fast and then it burns everything away very fast and then it's gone very fast. So this cardinal quality of Aries, together with it being a fire sign, those two kind of play off of each other, and that makes it even stronger in Aries. Aries are known to be extremely ambitious, they are passionate, they are highly motivated whenever they do start a new project and they really want to do it. But they're also not necessarily motivated in every aspect, so if they're not interested in something, then they're usually not very motivated and then they usually don't even start doing it at all. And also, they tend to, because they are cardinal fire signs, they are very hot-headed. So they tend to act before they think. So a lot of the times they need someone to kind of ground their energy, to be like, wait, before we do this now, let us first plan and think before we act. Otherwise, it's possible that they start a lot of new projects, but they don't end up being very successful because they weren't planned thoroughly. And then they get it through by being just very, very assertive and very, very tenacious. They are headstrong, they are stubborn, and they're like, I want this now, I will get it. With Aries being ruled by Mars, that of course also brings in some other aspects. So, for example, first of all, fire sign. Second of all, ruled by Mars, makes Aries pretty sexual. So they really like sex. I think Aries are oftentimes also not necessarily like the biggest relationship people. Of course, we're talking about pure Aries here. Nobody is a pure Aries. So if you are an Aries and you are a relationship person, don't get this the wrong way. I'm talking about a pure Aries. And a pure Aries would not be a relationship person. They would be someone who probably just has either very open relationships or would be like hopping around from partner to partner, having a lot of casual sex because they just like it and they enjoy it, and that is totally fine. Also, with Aries being ruled by Mars also comes being able to get very, very aggressive very fast. So Aries is probably the zodiac sign that is very explosive. So you better not pick a fight with an Aries. That could go the wrong way. That goes along with this not really thinking before they act. Their emotions will just explode and then they will pick fights. Not too fun, but at least it's not always that way, because if they are in a good mood and everything, Aries are also known to be extremely fun. They kind of live life to the fullest. They bring joy wherever they are. They're usually very funny. So as long as you stay on the good side of an Aries, everything should be fine, but don't pick a fight with them. That's not a good idea. With that being said, let us look at how we can use an Aries new moon in our magical practice. So you may know that Aries is the first zodiac sign in the zodiac. So we kind of have double the new moon energy, if that makes sense. Like we have a new moon in the first zodiac sign. So this is probably prime time for anything new moon, new project related. Especially if you, for example, hello! For example, if we want to start a project that takes the entire zodiac cycle to finish, that would be a good idea to do that now, especially also because we are in spring. So it's kind of all of this new project energy, all of these new beginnings, they come at the same time. So this time, prime time for big new projects. But if you do that, please make sure to not accidentally draw on Aries characteristic to not really think and plan before they do. So make sure to still plan your projects thoroughly. Don't just jump in head first like Aries would do. Make sure to plan your projects, to think them through, to actually think about if you want to actually do that and if you actually want to pull these projects through. Also with that, I would say it's a perfect time for a spring clean with a twist. So normally, if this would be, for example, hello cat number 2, if this would be, for example, a new moon in Virgo or something, then I would say, okay, clean, cleanse, plan, everything, spring cleaning time. But with a new moon in Aries in spring, I would still say that this is a great time for a kind of spring clean. But I would say since Aries is ruled by Mars, this would be a spring clean with a little bit of a twist, a little bit more of an aggressive spring clean. So maybe look at some banishings that you should do, or some bindings if you have any enemies that you have to handle. Then I guess this would be a great time. This is not necessarily the best time to plan things because, well, as we have seen, Aries is not necessarily a planner. So while we like to do this normally around a new moon, with an Aries new moon, it's not necessarily the best time to plan. If you want to, I would also say draw heavily on the fire and Mars energy. So do any kind of fire magic. If you want to cleanse something, if you want to banish someone or whatever you want to do, use fire. This would be excellent. And also draw on Aries' passionate sexual side. So either include sex magic in whatever you're doing, or how about you draw in some sexual passion into your life. I mean, it doesn't have to be sexual kind of passion. It can be any kind of passion or motivation or drive. But anything like that, it would be great if you feel like you're in a slump or something, to draw in that kind of energy on a new moon in Aries. That would be great. And then lastly, of course, it's not only the new moon in Aries, but right before that, it is also the dark moon in Aries. So of course, it's an excellent time to draw on that because, as I said, Aries is ruled by Mars, and Mars is a war sign. So if you feel like you need to curse or hex someone, if you feel like you need to do some banishings, some bindings, any kind of baneful magic, this would be the perfect time. Like a dark moon in Aries is my personal favorite time to do any kind of baneful magic. But if you're not necessarily the person to curse someone or to hex someone or to do anything like that, you can also draw on that to renew any more baneful wards. So something like tripwire wards or something like that, or like mirroring, reflecting kind of protection spells, anything like that that goes a little bit more into the aggressive kind of protection working side. Then this is still the perfect time to do that. On a new moon, you can renew those wards. That's perfect. But yeah, dark moon in Aries can also be very, very interesting. Of course, you can also use this new moon in Aries to do some divination on anything that relates to the zodiac sign Aries. So if you're in a slump, for example, you could ask yourself how you can get out of the slump, how you can get some new passion or some new energy in. You could, for example, do some divination on any like sexual problems that you might have. Maybe that could work. Basically anything that revolves around Aries would be a great time. You could of course also do something like trying to figure out if there is someone who has hexed or cursed you, if you have the evil eye on you, like dive more into the Mars aspect to do some divination on that kind of thing. Maybe you want to do some divination on your arch enemy. Who knows, maybe you have one you don't know about. So anything like that, perfect. And with that being said, those are my ideas for a new moon in Aries. As always, you know the game. If you have more ideas, put them in the comments. With that being said, Patreon and YouTube member shout out. Thank you so much to Linda, The Other Saffron, Orcus Studios, Silent Selena, Richard, Standing Fox, Ryan, Alex, Jazz, Naomi, Shaw, Christiana, T Demon, Elizabeth, Sylvia, Weir Festira, Katrina, V Prefers Anonymity, Bella, Derek, Smiley, Kirsten, Shannon, Andrew, Tisha, Sarah, Aziza, Carrie, August, Hannah, Shelby, Helena, SJ, Merle, Ann, Kate, Cade, Z, Kent, Brittany, Emerald, Celine, Smolkata, Josh, Elinora, Knarr, Kristany, Rixie Business, Annalena, Svenna, Ashley, Tim, John, Phoenix, Jenny, Maggie, Misty, Amy, Bethany, Timothy, Coffee, or the honorary gossip squirrel. And last but not least, Bjorn. And now my lovely YouTube members, thank you so much to Mary Ann, Betsy, Peony Rain, Milla, and KT. With that being said, thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, then make sure to subscribe and give a thumbs up and ring the bell down below so you're notified whenever I upload a new video. Feel free to check out my other socials and my shop for ethically and sustainably sourced witchy wares. And if you want to support me in another way, then feel free to check out my Patreon or my YouTube membership. And with that being said, I will see you in another video. Bye!